Hi everyone, if you can believe it, it is time for the Spellbinders June of 2025 clubs reveal. Half the year. Come and gone, you know? That's just crazy to me. But anyhow, I will say these items were sent free of charge for my review. And of course, all opinions are my own. And the links I'll have in the description box for the US and the UK will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission for your purchase items to those links. So thank you for using those, guys. I get this question a lot, and sometimes I discuss it and sometimes I forget. But if you're not familiar with YouTube, if anybody has a link, a social media thing, you know, a recipe, whatever it is, you're going to find it in the description box. So right under the video title, it might have a little information that you might see at the very top of the description box, and you have to click on show more and it expands it, and that's where you'll find links and information. A lot of times people type things up, you know, write things out for you, and it'll be there. Okay, so it's not a comment, it's different, but that's where it is. So recently I had that come up quite often, so I wanted to talk about that. Okay, so I have what is the Deluxe Caboodle, which is basically all the clubs plus the bonus item for the Deluxe Caboodle. Sometimes there are a couple bonus items and I'm not aware of that, so I show you the one and I'm like, oh, this other thing was also a bonus item this month. And that happens. But you know, when you see the link there, if you pop over, you'll see all the information for the Deluxe Caboodle. But I do have a bonus die set this month for the Deluxe Caboodle, so you'll look at that in just a moment. I go through all of them, measurements, things like that if we need them, you know, and then I'll start making tutorials later on the items that I don't use today. So we're just going to jump right in right now because there is a lot to get to. I feel like, I don't know why. I was like, it's a lot. Every one of these sets, there was a lot of dies. I can barely fit it on here and some things are hanging off. So I usually start with the embossing folders of the month. There are two different embossing folders. Sometimes maybe I start with a stencil. I don't know. Don't want to throw you guys off. But this month, the regular, your standard embossing folder, I do have a very early prototype type, and so I'll be using that, but it's a little rough. Okay, so this one is the, I believe, Mariner's Weave. This is your standard embossing folder, and the 3D embossing folder, they're both the same size. They're both oversized, so you can fit all kinds of different, you know, size of project in here. The plastic itself is 8 3/4 by 5 3/4, and the area that it will emboss is 8.5 by 5.5. So a lot, again, different sizes, slimline, 5x7, A2s. I mean, you can do a whole A2 size in here and cut it in half, you know, whatever as you like. But it's very pretty. That is really cool. So the difference with a standard one like this than your 3D embossing folder is that the design goes up, it goes across, it goes right back down. And the 3D embossing folders are kind of carved in different heights and depths and, you know, all that. It's really gorgeous. So this is your standard embossing folder. And actually, the other day, we noticed that if I put something black behind it, it's easier to see. So there you go. So that's what it looks like. That's really pretty. Okay, and I like the way it's kind of like offset, like in diamond shapes. That's gorgeous. The 3D embossing folder is your nautical knots. Or are your nautical knots? This is beautiful, and I know this is going to look amazing when we actually go ahead and run some paper through it, because look at the texture even on the little knots. Like, all of that stuff comes through with your paper. If you're using really thick paper, sometimes people like to kind of give it a little squirt with some water, you know, break down those fibers however you like. I generally don't do that, but it does help. Like this one is super thick, like cardstock. I might give it a little spray there. Metallic papers, you know, those kind of things, I just leave them alone because obviously you don't want to really spray water on that backside. It'll really mess with the paper. But look how gorgeous this is. Oh my gosh. That's going to be so pretty. So that is, ooh, the camera there, your nautical knots. The stencil of the month is called Rolling Tides, and it looks like there are several in here. Again, I get samples. Yours aren't going to look like this. Yours will be packaged nicely with, you know, your Spellbinders branding and all that kind of good stuff. A lot of times mine just, again, come in early, and they're samples and prototypes and all that good stuff. So a lot of times I don't have that to show you. Their stencils, have you guys noticed, have like almost like a floral scent to them, and it must be the way it's manufactured, but it's kind of cool. Okay, so this is Rolling Tide. So I was gonna say these are, and this, and I said something funny. Looks like it goes this way, because the number 1 is down here, number 2 is down here, 3, and this one I think is on its own. So I don't believe this one goes with the other guys. So this makes like a little scenery for you. Oh my gosh, I should have said right at the top. I'm sorry, guys. If you have the June of 2024 large die of the month, these things are all made, well, maybe not the stitch, but I think maybe to fit in that. Do you guys remember it was like a ship in a bottle kind of thing, or like it was like an ocean-y like scene, but in a bottle, like a jar. So if you have that, these guys will fit in there. If you don't have it and it's available, because you know afterwards they do sell the club kits, I'll try and remember to link it in the description box, because maybe you're gonna want that, so you can pop these guys in there and it'll look really cute. So this reminded me of that, because I was like, oh, you're building a scene, and then it clicked. So yeah, you have the different layers of the little waves here and then the little bubbles. That's cute. I will say, now that I look at it, I think these are split. So you have this down here, and then if you turn it, hopefully you can see there's another number 1 right here, number 2 right here, number 3. So there are 2 ways of using this, and then there you go. Okay, or maybe come down this way. You know, I don't know, bubbles usually go up. So there you go. There are 2 different ways of using these guys. Sorry, I'm looking at them brand new just like you are right now, and I'm trying to, you know, make sense of them. And then these, this one, I always want to say this and these, and I say these, are really pretty. This is awesome. I love it. I think it looks like little ferns. Like if you use this way with some greenery, and that'd be cute. Anyway, it looks like wind. It could look like water, you know, waves, however you want to use this. So really cool, really pretty. The stencil of the month. Then you have your clear stamp of the month, and this month it looks like it's a ton of sentiments. So I'll use the back of this with the little anchor that is so cute. So again, these are photopolymer. I know in the past, like in the club kits, the card kits they used to carry, they were acrylic, and then they had the photopolymer stamp of the month. So the photopolymer stamp of the month is still photopolymer. So there you go. Thanks for lighting the way. Party like a sea captain. Happy birthday. You are the captain of your destiny. Just saying hello from the crew. Many thanks. From this salty sailor. I love this so much. Oh my gosh. Seize the day and make it amazing. Hoy matey, you're the calm in my stormy seas. And a ton of other ones that I'm not even reading yet. Really cool. So you have all those sentiments. And then the clear die of the month pretty much cuts all of them out. I will say there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then the anchor. And then, let me see. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So maybe 5 of these aren't gonna have the die. Okay, I just want you guys to have that info. And I love that the little anchor also has a die for it. Very cool. My goodness, you guys, the small die, the large die are so cute this month. And let's not forget the stitching die of the month. They're all very much of a theme and super, super cute. So I'm gonna bring this down here. I try to make these make sense, but this is the small die, which is a lot in there, right? So you have what essentially is like a little walrus. Well, he's a big boy. You have his little, you know, face pieces, little things that make, you know, cute accents, all that kind of stuff. He has the smallest hat in the world. Isn't that cute? Look how big is his little hat. Oh my gosh, so cute. A pipe if you want to have them wearing that. I believe this is his like little jacket. You have an accent piece here for the bottom, you know, like his little outfit and his tusks. Oh my gosh. These guys are actually his little whiskers, and look how funny they are. Oh my gosh. Isn't that cute? And then he has a little buddy. So you have this little seagull, let's say, I think, right? He's got his little legs. He has his accents for his little footies, his beak, you know, you have accents for his wings. He has a cute little sailor cap on if you want, a little scarf, and then accents, other little accents there for him. A little flag. I mean, just super duper cute. And I didn't even tell you the name because I got all into it. It's called Shipmates. Shipmates. How cute is that? I mean, you guys, adorable. And that bleeds into, you know, the large die of the month, which is all of this all the way down here. Not the glimmer. This is a glimmer plate. So this, sorry guys, it's a lot, is all in there. I didn't measure this guy because usually I'm measuring it for you guys to know, like, you have a machine that'll cut this stuff. But let's say, I mean, it's just over 3 inches, okay, on that one, the largest die. Here, I mean, again, they're, you know, I think this might be one of the larger ones. It's like 2.5 inches tall, 3 inches, and they're not that wide. To build up a little scene, you know, you got your little town. So that's the Sailor's Light is what it's called, and that is very cute. Some of these shapes, I'm not 100% sure. I feel like they're rocks, you know, like maybe all around. That's what it looks like to me. But, it could be something else. You have like little waves. You have accents for that. I probably have this upside down because the wave might go up, right? Something to help you ground it there. You have like this beautiful cloud with the inlay, little houses with background pieces. You know, this one has like little roof, different pieces for this little house. The lighthouse portions, this piece goes on there. And then you have like little accents. You have like all kinds of things, guys, that go on to making this a really, really cute scene. Again, will fit in that bottle from June of 2024, the large die of the month from June of 2024. I do have that, and whenever I plan on working with this, I'll bring it out just to show it to you guys. I didn't bring it out right now because I'm not going to use it right now, and we're focusing on tons of other stuff here. So let's look at that. Okay, and this stitch die of the month is called Ahoy Matey, and that is everything here. There is a ton of stuff here. When I first saw this, I was like, is that a little foot? Or I'm like, no, I think it's a scarf. It's a scarf. So you have the cute wheel here. You have pieces if you want to pop them in. You know, you don't have to. Otherwise, you'd have this, right? Cut out of like a wood color. Good to go. You want to do the stitching, pop those in and have that there and stitch it up. You have this guy, which I believe actually should probably go like this. I think it's supposed to look like water. It could be anything, really. Let me give you a little measurement on like this big guy. It's just over 2.5 inches by almost 5 inches in the other direction. And then this guy is 4.5 inches, metal to metal is what I'm looking at, guys, to about 1 inch deep. And then you have your little guy here. So this is just so cute. I love all the little like gulls over here. You have this guy. Look at his little face. His little eyes are like closed. He has his little hat. You know, he has different portions of this accent for the hat. Hopefully you can see that, so you can do it in 2 different colors. This is actually his little outfit, you know, and then stripes for his little outfit. It actually kind of goes something like that on his little body. So there you go. So cute. You know, of course, like for me, cute red and white, you know, blue accents, whatever it is. He has, I think this is his scarf. But he also has this guy. So if you want to just do like a little tie, it's so cute. It looks like a little knot. And then this is a full-on scarf, I believe, is what it's intended for. And then it also has stitching if you want. So you can put that on his little neck. His wings, his, you know, legs and little beak, and then his accents for his wing. And look how cute is this. I love this kind of thing. A little anchor die that is so cute. So you have that. And then you have the word ahoy that is its own little like banner there or label. Glimmer of the month, Castaway. So this is the big guy. Looks really cool. It's called Castaway. Looks like fishnet kind of thing. 4 3/8, so just over 4 1/4, and it'll probably be just over 5 1/2. Yeah, 5 3/8. So you can definitely get a good print on your A2 size paper. I will say, because I always forget to mention, the Glimmer of the month comes with its foil. The one that's intended this month is the opal. But it does say colors may vary. You might receive a different color. But we have opal here. Look how cool that is. Do I have opal? I feel like this is either new or new to me, because I don't remember seeing this. It's very like pearl shell kind of, I don't know what you call it, concha nakara type of thing. I don't know. Very cool. Abalone? Is that what I'm thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking. Okay, so really pretty. And then you have this, these 3 sentiments. So you have happy birthday, you have cast the net full of wishes, and then you have throw your net wide this year. That's cute. And then you have the die that cuts the largest one. Obviously, it'll cut all of them if you want to trim it down, or just leave it just as long, right? So it'll cut all those guys. Super cute. I will say, with the wax seal and the Glimmer of the month, if you are a current member, like you get it monthly, you are going to receive the wax beads and the foil if you buy it later down the line. So yeah, if later on down the line you want to pick these things up along with the wax seal, they will not come with like the foil. So not just this one, but any Glimmer of the month later on down the line will not have the foil, and the wax seal will not have the wax beads. Full disclosure, I paused because I made a little oopsie the way I was speaking, and I did not press record correctly, and I did the whole rest of the unboxing. So I'm trying to make sure I say what I said, and start there. Okay, so the next thing would be the wax seal of the month. I believe that's usually how I go about this. I reopened it because I redid the thing. So let's check it out again. So, I don't like having fake reactions. So now it's just going to be like, okay, I'm going to talk about it because usually I'm like, oh, So the wax seal of the month, it's very pretty. I love the, the pristine, just clean look of the Seize the Day and the icon there. So let's open this guy up. And I had mentioned that this is like a squoval shape, and I'm like, I don't know that I see that very often. I love this, and squoval is like a square oval, from like when you do your nails, a squoval shape. Really pretty. So let me measure this for you guys, although I already, actually I know the measurement, but either way, let's make sure it's 1 inch. Yes, just over 1 inch high and 3/4 inches wide, right? So just over 1 inch high. Look how pretty. Just really classic and fresh. I like that. Very, very nice. And then the intended wax beads for this month is this color ink. I will say, you know, again, intended color, you might receive something else, but I love the name of it just because, you know, like octopus or ink, you know, kind of thing. So I think that's cool. And it's a very, very pretty blue, which definitely goes with the nautical theme, right? And then we have our Better Press. I think that's the last one of the month. And we have this large plate. So it's called Harbor Weave. And again, it's the same sizing as your Glimmer. So it's 4 3/8 by 5 3/8. So, you know, great for your A2s. You can definitely matte layer a 5x7 with this kind of thing. You just cut it down and have different matte layers, right, to get it a little bit larger for your 5x7. I do like to mention with the Better Press, let's say you only have a Glimmer, you don't have a Better Press, but you get the Deluxe Caboodle. You can definitely put this in your Glimmer. Do not bring Glimmer plates to the Better Press though, okay guys? So you can always put Better Press plates in the Glimmer. Don't bring the Glimmer plates to the Better Press because they are a little thicker and you can probably damage, you know, possibly damage your machine or worse or whatever, right? So we don't want to do that. I will say if you don't have either one of those things, a lot of times I've shown you guys in the past, just ink it up and just, you know, kind of dab your cardstock on here and it'll just be really cool, kind of accents in the background, a little more mixed media, a little artsy looking, you know. You can ink up the whole thing and just put a piece of cardstock on it and just really make sure you're pressing with your hand on the back or, I don't know, some other kind of thing that might help you, maybe a stamping tool, I don't know, a brayer. And you'll still have the image on there, it just won't have that letterpress look, right, where it's pushed into your paper. And so I was gonna say now I can read these easily because I got a little caught up earlier. Casting a warm hello your way, and then you have the sentiment, sending a net full of thanks, and then you have the die to cut those guys out. So you have those. So that is the unboxing of basically everything, clearly. And then the Deluxe Caboodle bonus die. Is this guy. So like I said, I know I have this. Sometimes there's another item that I wasn't aware of, even though I did receive it. I just didn't know it was supposed to be for this, you know, so you might have something else. But for right now, I know for sure this is the Deluxe Caboodle bonus die set. Super cute. You know, I told a story about a place I like to eat at. It's called Costera here in San Diego. If you're in San Diego or land at the San Diego airport, across the harbor where the Sheraton is, there's a restaurant called Costera. There's also a steakhouse there. They're the same company or owner. You know, they have these big groups out here that own everything, right? So like they own all the different restaurants that are a certain type or whatever. But anyway, at Costera, we always like to sit out there because you're just off the harbor and people are sailing around and just, it's beautiful, you know? So I recommend it. It's really good stuff. But that's what this reminded me of. Just as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, how cute is this? So we have the background, and I love that there are so many accent pieces to this because you have that background. You still have this layer, right? And this one goes on that side. This guy still has like a little stripy layer that helps you add even more, you know, just detail and things. The bottom of the boat, the little flag, and then also the bottom of the boat has another accent to it. So it's going to make a nice substantial sailboat for you. Super cute. Okay, guys. So I'm going to clear the decks. I'm going to, you know, try out a few items that usually I try to do something quicker to get this video going because I know some people like long videos and some people don't. So I'm going to do that. So let me think about what I would like to do. I'm going to grab some paper, some inks, whatever is required, and I will be right back. Okay, guys, so I think I'm going to make 2 A2 size cards. I know, like I said, this video I try to do quicker tutorials, but these are both going to be kind of quick. So A2 size, excuse me, 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. They're both just like that. I have this pretty blue piece of cardstock that's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I like 8ths. If you don't like 1/8" matte layers, you know, do what you do like. I'm just going to pop this on here. I'm going to split the difference. Oh, you know, I didn't think about doing one in landscape. Okay, let's do this one this way because I'm going to use this one with the little sailboat there. And so I'm going to run this through just like that. If you're using like the Platinum 6 with the universal plates, it would be the A plate and the adapter, and then just this. Use whatever method you need for your machine if it's not Platinum 6. And then this guy, I'm going to run it through this direction. Okay, so we'll have the little our little guy from the stitching die of the month, like here, you know, and then our sentiment, and they'll be cute. Then I'll probably do like a focal circle or some kind of something to ground our little character and also our little sailboat. So I'll run this one through this way, and I'll be right back. Let's check this beauty out. Oh my gosh, so cool. Again, I knew this was going to be super textured. Look at that. How close can I get? Look at the little holes, like in there. That is amazing. And this is the back side, which I like to use the deboss side too sometimes. So there you go. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Okay, I'll run this one through. And that is some lightweight kind of cardstock, and this is heavyweight cardstock. Again, if you want to spritz it with a little bit of water, I'll show you really quick what that would look like. Just the quickest spritz, guys. We're not looking to like completely wet the thing. Okay, just a little bit. You know, one side there, it's already soaking up into the cardstock. I don't know if you can see that, how wet it was. Now it's just kind of soaking in there. And yeah, that's it. I'm just going to try to make sure. To me, there are straight lines in here, so I'm just trying to make sure everything lines up nicely. And since they're a little bit offset, I do like to also, I usually use the top of the, you know, look at it this way. See how this would be perfectly ending, but then that top one is kind of in the middle. So I try to split that difference like right there. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, and again with a little spritz. Looks like this, really well carved in and just so pretty. Okay, for both these cards, I'm just going to glue these guys down, okay? And I'll be right back. I will say with this 3D embossing folder, it did take up some of the material of the card, because look how much space is there and here, but not so much in this direction. So, you know, maybe you want to start with the whole 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, run it through, and then cut it down to what you want, because you can imagine with all the height that it's getting from the embossing that it kind of pulls in, right, on your paper. So, something to think about. That's fine with me, but I just want to show you that. Okay, I put both my card bases under here so they can just stay nice and flat. Let's focus on this guy first. Quickly, I'm just going to run this through some black paper. You know, you're going to see this little bit and this pole here. So, you know, if you want to run through like silver or something that you think would be better for that, go for it. This guy I'm going to run through white paper, so both sails will be white. Red stripes, so red paper. The base of our little boat. Should we do some blue and red? I don't know what traditional boats look like, to be honest. Let's do this one also through red. And then maybe this little stripe here out of blue. Okay, so red here, white, black, blue. I'll be right back. Okay, let's close up just a little bit. And again, I start off with the black base, but you know, whatever color you like there. Oh, it's so funny because you know, when you turn the die, things change around. I thought the little stripes would be on this other side over here. So again, you don't have to use this second piece on here because the stripes are also there. So if you want to just come in with this guy, you know, saves a few seconds, I suppose. Let's see here. Okay, fine. I was looking for one of my tacky tools. I'll just pick this up. So I did white sails, then with the red accent. Cute. And you can pair this up with its little stripies before you put it down or however you want. Cute. You know, so one sail is a little taller than the other. And then I'm going to put the glue here, but basically that piece runs all the way down the side. And it starts with the second little chunk is what it looks like. So like here, and then this one, and hopefully I'm correct, because if I'm not, then I just put the glue in the exact opposite spots, but not in the first little chunk of stripe, but in the second one. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it, because it might be hard to see. There you go. And this guy. Okay, got my little tacky tool there. All right. And then the red bottom. It looks like the red bottom and that other part, there are indentations there so you know what goes where, but I think this is only big enough to fit. You know what? I have to replace that stickiness on that guy. There we go. Cute. Is it gonna stick to this? Nope. Not that either. All right. And then this one. And this is again your bonus die for Deluxe Caboodle. Very sweet. Cute. Okay, I'm gonna let that set up. And then I'm gonna grab some colors for our little shipmate over here. Okay, guys. So for our little bird, you know, whatever it is that you like, I'm gonna make him look a little more seagull-like, I suppose. So white body, you know, I haven't spent a lot of time staring at them. I think I'm remembering some gray here and there, so I just grabbed a little bit of gray for like this little wing. For this portion, I will do a little bit of black, I think. Now, I will say, you can cut the wing out a couple times if you would like, so you see how one goes here and one goes here. So, I think if you're only supposed to match this piece up, then maybe the gray doesn't work. How about, let me see. So if this guy cuts out, it's here. It's not the same as this one, and I don't even think it's flipped. You know, I don't really know that right now. It's hard to tell. You know, as far as the little accent there. Okay, so change my mind. Okay, so white body, white wings. So this will also run through white. So I'll have that accent wing. And then, that's fine, because I was thinking black. I don't know if I should use black. So this part, I'll run through some gray. Okay, so that's the other little wing tips. We'll do gray. Hat, I think black. His little beak and legs, I'll do through this yellow. Maybe if I had an orangey yellow, that'd be better, but this is what I grabbed, so that's what I'm using. It'll be very cute either way. He does have a little outfit on that can be, you know, red and white stripe, or whatever stripes. Blue, that'd be really cute too. I think I will also run this through white, because that'll give me the white shirt and the white hat topper, which is what I wanted anyway for his little hat. And then I'll run this other, the stripes, and maybe I'll do this through blue. Just have, no, black. Let's make it match his little hat. And this guy I'll run through some red paper. Okay? And I will be right back. And with these kind of things, run everything through. Everything fit, even on a small, you know, die cutting machine. That way everything gets done pretty quick here. And thanks for being with me in real time as I kind of decide colors and things like that. Okay. Let me take these off. Okay, guys, there's one more thing I'm going to want to run through again. It's the one with the hat, with the little accent piece, because the hat does have like this little dot that, fine, you know, if we put this on here, it'll show up, but I think it should be gold. I think it'd be cute, so it looks like a little emblem, you know. So I'll put this on real quick, but I will also run, and you know, I can run it through gold paper or just that same yellow I use for the little legs, just to give you the idea of that's a little cute emblem for his little hat. This guy, I believe you have to put the sweater down before you put the wings. So let me get a little bit closer. Everything has like little indentations where you can see everything. See this little white dot's what came out of that one die. But like I said, you know, or gold, or however. So his little sweater is going to go down, because if you put the wing down first, the sweater is going to be on top of it. So I did do white there. And this one, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like, yeah. So it's the outer. So it starts here at the very bottom one, and then the next one, and then the last one, which is good because it differentiates the red and the white of his little body. Cute. Oh, let's get that right where it needs to be, right there. That is adorable. Let me go ahead and put the gray on his little wing here, and then this one too. This one is the smaller piece. There we go. And this one is this one. And this one's this one. Very well. And that guy would be on top of there. And that'd be cute. So I'm going to probably put a little dimensional there. His little beak. So let's pop that on. And I'm taking my time, guys, but I wanted to do these both in the same video because I figured they were quick to piece together, you know. His little legs are going to be back here, so I'm just going to put some glue. But you have like this little line. How cute is that? He looks very tall. It's holding on where it needs to. Yep, that's about right. And then he also has, well, his hat. I can go ahead and pop that on, I suppose. And then get that little gold bit in there. Oh my gosh, how adorable is that? And then his little wings. So what I want to do with that is stick it down, but then also put a little dimensional under the the end of it. So, oh my goodness. This here. I'm trying to see where his little this thing goes. Again, he has a scarf or this little like tie. I'm gonna go ahead and put it down before I put the wing on, just in case. So just at the very top. Just let that little guy run there. How cute is that? Let's get this off of here. I'm gonna cut 2 little circles just with some circle dies, and I'm just gonna allow this to kind of fall into place where it's supposed to there, and then this guy there. Good. We could have put his little kerchief thing on without that. Okay, so I'm dimensional there, flat here. I'm gonna run this die, no, not that one, this one, just through the small piece of gold or yellow, just in this area to get that little fallout. And then I just thought about something else. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna cut a couple circles to accent my cards that will kind of ground these guys. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, actually guys, I found these and I love this arch, really nice and pointed, really cute. So I did one that's a little bit smaller for this guy, and one that's a little bit larger for this one, for our little guy here. So cute. It's so funny, I actually judged this in this direction because I wasn't thinking, but that fits pretty perfectly there. So we'll have that there. We'll have our little guy right here, and then we'll have a little sentiment. I'm just going to stick it down, but if you wanted to pop any of this up, you know, that'd be great. Let's just move that guy over. Oh, I said I was going to put the little gold dot, right? So I can do that at our very end here, and then we'll stamp out some sentiments. So we have that guy there. And then this one. I'm trying to think, you know, where the sentiment might go if I put this up here. This little guy. Right there. Let's make sure we're kind of straight-ish. Again, we have the ropes that are obviously doing their own thing. That looks pretty good. And I'm just going to put glue on the back of this guy, glue it down like right there. And then I'll glue him down also, like I said, just straight down. Okay, real quick before we do our sentiments, just that little gold guy, I'm going to pop right in there. And then I like this one that has to talk about being a salty sailor. I think that's very funny. So I'm just going to stamp these, I suppose on white cardstock, you know, any red or something, but I'll just do white cardstock, that's fine. And so we have many thanks from this salty sailor, and we have cute anchors away to an amazing birthday, ahoy matey. I mean, these are all just so cute. Let me see. I'll just pick another one of these guys and stamp it out and cut it out. But I think anchors away to an amazing birthday is kind of fun. So I'll use that one with this guy. I don't know if this one has a die or not, but either way I'm gonna stamp both of them on white paper and I'll be right back. Actually, I don't think that one, the second one, has a stamp or a die, which is actually great for this one because I wanted to matte layer it and I was gonna do a drop shadow. So for this, I'll just layer it out in like black paper or something. And then I didn't show the stamping, but I mean, here you go, just because I don't want to waste your guys' time. But this one does have a die that goes with it, so I'll just stamp it anywhere. The other one I stamped in the very top corner so I can just cut it out easily. But there you go. So always really nice and crisp. All right, so I'm gonna cut this piece off just because I'm gonna do something else with that. And then this guy, I'm just gonna look right through there. It's very easy to see exactly where you're gonna be cutting. And just when you're happy with the placement of your die, that looks good. Put your little tape, hopefully that doesn't move, and run that through. So this top part, I'm just gonna cut it off and I'll be right back. Okay, I have this one run through. I'll probably just pop some dimensionals on the back of that and just pop that like down in there. And then this one, I'm just trimming it down a little bit more. And then I'll just take a measurement kind of where we're at and add a matte layer to that, you know, so I think that looks pretty good, like how far that is from there and there. So if I give this a quick measure, it is 3/4 of an inch by 2 3/4. That hardly ever happens where it's actual measurements. So I'll cut a piece of black cardstock that is 1 inch by 3 inches, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I did cut it 1 inch by 3, and it was too much of a black edge. It was really, really bulky, and I didn't like that. I was also thinking about dovetailing one side, and I forgot. So I just am gonna leave it straight like the way it is here. But let's center that, and let's get some dimensionals on this too and wrap up our cards. Okay guys, so we have our many thanks from this salty sailor. I think that is so funny. Let's see here. You know, my husband's a Marine, but he has gone out on these ships, I guess, for lack of a better term. And then they have, you know, sailors there with them. But, I mean, he's not a sailor, but very cute. I like that one. And then this guy, I was going to place it like right at the base of this, just for funsies. So it doesn't look just smooth, you know, kind of fun. And just eyeballing straight right in the center. All right, guys, thanks for watching. You know, quick cards here. We made 2 today with that bonus and with the main character there from the Stitching Die of the Month. Super cute. Just really adorable sets this month. So I will follow up after the 5th, you know, the 6th, with more tutorials. I usually like to wait until it opens up for people to sign up brand new. But if you are a member already, you can start making your choices. You always get 10% off as your current club member of your purchases, and all these little bonuses and things that they do towards the end of the year, I think. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I will have images coming up. I'll have the links there, like I said, in the description box for you, and I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.